Hello everyone, my name is Andrew, I am the 5 p.m. chef, and welcome back to my kitchen. It's been a crazy day. It's just before Christmas, it's like 3 days before Christmas. I decided to try and hit the malls, and that was a mistake. Over an hour just to get into the parking lot. Gave up on that, came home, decided, you know what, it's time for a really nice lunch. And I figured I'd share it with you too. I haven't started a thing. You're going to see it from start to finish. You're going to see how fast you can make this. This is a simple, easy lunch, but it can be a great dinner, especially if you're having company over. It's an old classic dish, and I think you'll really enjoy it. It's a chicken piccata. It's chicken with a lemon and cream sauce. I'm going to have it with a little bit of pasta. And let's show you how quick you can make this incredible meal. So right off the bat, I've just got to get some water boiling. So just a simple pot of water. Whenever you're doing pasta, you want to make sure you salt your water. It should almost taste like the ocean. It's your only chance to get flavor into that pasta, so take advantage of it. At the same time, we're going to get our good old fry pan heating up, and we're going to use a little bit of a really nice Italian olive oil. So that'll help add some flavor. And, well, you can never go wrong with butter. The only thing I've done before all this was pull out my ingredients. So what we have here is, we'll just do a quick little switch over, and that worked, I hope. And it looks like it's a little audio this time, because last time it decided to cut out on me. So we have some nice little chicken breasts. I've got lemon, of course. Cream is still in the fridge. So all I'm going to do, I want this to cook a little bit faster. So we're going to take our chicken breast and we're going to butterfly it. In fact, you know what? We're going to slice it right in two, because these nice little thin pieces will cook a lot faster. And again, to do this properly and safely, just hold your hand on top of the chicken breast. Make sure your thumb is well out of the way. Put your knife about halfway down. These are times you want a sharp knife. If you try and do this with a dull knife, for one, you're just going to rip and shred the chicken. And two, chances are it's going to slip, and that's when you're going to hurt your hands. We're just rinsing off our knife here. Always helps to wash your hand after the work with chicken. The pot is warming up, everything is going. Some of the other ingredients, as I said, we have the lemon. We're also going to use something a little bit different. They're called capers. Capers are just little buds off the caper bush that they brine. Well, first they dry them, then they brine them, and it just gives a nice, really hard to describe flavor, but it's something that if it's not there, you're going to miss it. But if you don't like capers, you've tried them before, and you really don't want them, well, don't worry about it. Don't put them in. It's as simple as that. Now, because I have raw chicken on my board here, what I am going to do is just move that aside until the pan is hot. And get another cutting board out. And for those who have seen these before, you know it's a mandolin. It's just a great way to grate or slice really small, consistently, and safely. But please, the blades are sharp, so be careful. What I'm just going to do is very lightly pass the lemon over because I want to get some of that zest. That's going to go into our sauce. It doesn't take a lot. There we go. Almost looks like I didn't take anything off, but trust me, it's there. Okay. And I want to top this with a little bit of cheese. So I've got, well, it's hard to see here, but it's a Grana Padano. It's very much like a Parmesan, but it's a little bit milder. And it's just going to be a topping, a garnish if you like, but it helps to, I find, cut some of the sharpness of the lemon and everything, and some of the richness of the dish. It's a lot of cheese. There we go. White cheese, white board. I know it's kind of bad, but it's a lot of cheese there, but I really like cheese, as you know. So my fry pan's getting nice and hot. In fact, what we're going to do here is a little switch over. We're trying to do a little switch over. Move that like that, and there we go. Things are working today so far. At least I hope they are. Okay, so that's nice and bubbling. You can see this hasn't taken much time at all so far. And we're already cooking here. I'm going to turn the heat on that up. Get that cooking. Let's get that chicken soaked cutting board out of the way. Now I haven't seasoned this chicken at all yet. So again, I'm just going to hit it with a little bit of salt. Some nice black pepper. Now, if you want, you can add a little bit of garlic salt or onion salt to this, or onion powder. I really find it doesn't need it, though. There's going to be so much flavor in everything else that we're making. Let's let that speak for itself. Also, I've got my pasta. I'm trying to get it on camera here. There we go. We're doing a little farfalle, which is a little bow tie pasta. It'd just be nice with what we're making here. You can really tell none of this was prepared. I just decided to start filming as I was making my lunch. But it's a great way to see just how fast you can actually do all this. Our chicken is starting to cook up nicely. I'm going to turn that heat up a little bit more. We want to get a little bit of browning on it. Get a plate there to put our chicken on. Our water is almost coming to a boil already. Now, as I said, the olive oil is going to help add to the flavor. The butter is just butter, and let's face it, butter always tastes great when you're cooking. Let's put this chicken away. and we brought out the cooking cream. When you're doing something like this, it doesn't take a lot, but you want to make sure what you're using is the good stuff. Don't try and use half and half or any other kind of cream. You don't want to use table cream in this case. You want to use a cooking cream because you want that higher fat content. At this point now, you can add some of those capers. You want to get that flavor starting. If a little bit of the brine gets in there, don't worry about it. It helps season and add to those flavors. This chicken is feeling really nice and tender. I think I'm going to add just a bit more pepper to the dish. Because the capers are salty, you really don't need a lot of salt on the dish. For those of you who are trying to keep salt down, you don't need to add any, but I'm not trying to keep it down, and I feel it adds a lot to the flavor, so we're going to do it. That chicken is almost done. My water, you can kind of see, is already smoking, or not smoking, but steaming, and I see a lot of bubbles forming, so we're getting really close on that. Don't be afraid to touch your food. You can only really know from trying it to feel if it's ready or not. You want the chicken to feel firm to the touch, but it doesn't want to be, but you don't want it to be a rock either. It's got to have something to it. I know I say this every video, but I wish there was smell-o-vision on here because the smell of the chicken and the capers, the olive oil that I use, it's all starting to come through. It's really, really nice. If you're really unsure if your chicken is cooked, just give it a bend over and take a look inside. This is going to be, that's one of my thicker pieces. I know it's only going to be a minute or two more. Get this cream open so it's ready to go. You gotta love when the milk cartons don't open. Oh, the joys of real cooking. This carton is totally mangled now. I don't know if you can see, but this is going to be really fun to try and pour from. That cream is probably going to go all over the place now. Okay, so we've got some nice browning on the chicken. That adds a lot of flavor. I'm going to drop the heat. Just going to put that on my plate. The capers and everything in here have all done their bit. It's got its flavor. Add another little nub of butter in there. My water, as you see, is now to boil. The butter is just going to add another little layer of flavor to everything. I'm just looking for my whisk. And I put maybe half a cup, 3/4 of a cup of the heavy cooking cream in there. Now we're going to add the pasta, to our water. And I like to set my timer. I know it takes about 8 minutes for it to be done. We'll just give that a little stir. You can see now we're getting some boilage around the edges, so that sauce is going to come together pretty quick. I'm going to add the lemon zest. Now we're going to take the lemon, very simply chop it in half over your hand so you can catch the seeds. Because those are not going to be tasting very good. Juice of about half a lemon. If you find your lemons are really dry, put it in the microwave for a couple of seconds first. It'll help loosen up the juice, and it's not going to hurt anything at all. With the other half of the lemon, who knows, use that as a garnish for your drink. If you've had a day like me, a nice cold beverage would be really nice right now. Again, give the pasta a stir. You don't want that to stick. Now, it's got a nice, you see how it coats? Sorry for the lighting today, it's kind of hazy and the lights are just playing with me, but if you see how it coats the back of the spoon, that's about how you want it. If you draw your finger across, it leaves a line. It means it's thickening up and getting to a nice consistency. Now we want to taste. The lemon is really there. It's tasting really nice. You can taste the capers. That little briny little sharpness that they add to everything. The sauce is thickening up well. My pasta is coming along. If you want, if you're doing this for a dinner party, you can add a splash of white wine into this. You can add a little bit of garlic into this. It's all up to you. I find it doesn't need it. Some of you who have seen my earlier videos are going to think, hey, this kind of looks familiar. It does. By just changing a few of the ingredients, we have our Alfredo sauce here. The cream, Parmesan cheese, and a little bit of garlic. Put that over your pasta, and you've got the world's simplest, most delicious chicken or Alfredo sauce, or chicken Alfredo, that you've ever had. Now, one thing I want to do, it just helps to brighten up the flavor a touch. And gives it a little bit of color. I'm going to add some parsley in there. If you have fresh parsley, even better. But unfortunately, I don't. So, the dried it is. We're going to give that another little taste. And that's done. So I'm going to put that to low. And if we pull this into view, and we just shift that over a little bit, hopefully. Pardon my messy kitchen. So we have our chicken here, we have our sauce. Carefully, because the pan is hot. Just going to pour some of that cream right over chicken. And yes, it's pouring all over the plate and everything, but guess what? The pasta is going to take care of that. Pasta only has a few more minutes to go. I hope everyone's ready for the holidays. Like I said, I went shopping today and I couldn't even get in the mall. It was a zoo. Try again going tomorrow, getting there even before the stores open. And well, if that doesn't work, I don't know, it's going to be Amazon Prime and gift cards for people, I think. I don't know, would you be upset if you got an IOU on Christmas? All I know is I'm so hungry, I can't wait to dig into this. In fact, while that's hot, we can even garnish that chicken. A little bit of the grana padano. I'll just melt in a bit. Our pasta's getting there. When it comes to dry pasta, a lot of people grab whatever's on sale, the cheap stuff, whatever it is. Try and use, just try it once. Try getting a better quality, whether it's an imported pasta or just one of the more artisanal brands, the smaller companies instead of the big guys, and taste the difference. Most of the time, the more expensive stuff is maybe $1 more a pack, but the difference in flavor will pay you back tenfold. It is so much worth. It's so worth it. I used to buy my pasta at the local grocery store all the time. Then this little Italian boutique that you've heard me talk about, Delmonico, is opened up, and I tried their dry pasta, and ever since then I've never gone back. It's worth the little bit of extra money for the amount of flavor that it has, for just how good it is. It's not worth it anymore. So our pasta, even with tongs being slippery to get, just has a minute or so more. Some of you have asked me about cooking pasta in the microwave. I've seen all kinds of devices and gadgets and things you can buy on the internet, but I haven't tried any of them. I'm sure they work because all you're doing is boiling water and cooking your pasta in the microwave. If it's any faster, I really couldn't tell you. I don't know if it'd be any better, but if any of you have tried those devices or you've tried cooking your own pasta in the microwave, leave me a comment and let me know. I'd love to know if they're worth it, if it's just a gadget, if it's a waste of money, or is the few minutes on top of the stove worth the price. Just testing. Here's my stove. Telling me my pasta's ready. I can taste the salty water, which is good because, like I said, this is the only chance you have to get the flavor into the noodles. I'm just going to give it like 30 seconds more. I like it al dente, but that was a little bit too al dente even for me. I do stir my pasta a lot. First of all, I don't want it sticking to the pan or clumping up together. And also, it cooks more evenly when the heat can get all the way through it, of course. Now, I'm using bow ties just because, well, one, it's what I had. Two, it's kind of fun and easy to eat. But you can do this over linguine, fettuccine, angel hair pasta. You can do it over whatever noodle you want. I've done this, layered it up, and even turned it into a chicken piccata lasagna, which was really different and not what anyone expected when I cut into it at the dinner table. Now this pasta is ready. I'm going to quickly drain it off. Little shake, shake, shake. back into the pan. Again, whoop, didn't mean to hit my camera. Little pat of butter. Yeah, really cooking. Butter flew right out of the pan. I like to put a little bit of the cheese right onto the noodles. Pinch of pepper. Because why not season the noodles too? Give that a little toss. And then into the leftover sauce. Give that just a real quick little stir. You don't have to drown your pasta in sauce. The sauce that sticks to the noodles is all that's needed. That goes aside. Couple of little spoons, maybe more than a couple because I'm hungry. That can go aside. Some more of that beautiful grana padano. I'm really not one for garnishing my plates when I'm eating alone, but a little bit of parsley will just help the flavor a bit more. And we go back to our camera. Just clean off the board a little bit. So there we go. You've been with me on this journey. Little over 20 minutes. Dinner is done. And back to it again. We've got, sorry is what, like really, really white, but it's just a comforting meal. We've got our nice browned chicken breast covered with a little bit of that cream lemon sauce, some capers in there to give it a little bit of brightness. Just a pasta with a simple sauce. What else can you want on these really cold days? Well, everyone, I forgot what camera was on. Oh wow, it's been a long day and it's just turned noon. Well, everyone, I'm going to go eat. I'm going to edit this video. We'll get it up on the web for you. I hope you enjoy it. I know I'm going to enjoy this. I hope you try this. Give yourself a treat at lunch like I'm doing. Impress your friends at a dinner party. Just share it with your family. It's a great, simple dinner. You saw how quick and easy it is. You saw everything that went in there. It's a simple, healthy meal. You cooked it at home, and it came from the heart. Being the holidays, I want to wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas. A Happy New Year if I don't see you before. For those of you who don't celebrate Christmas, Happy Holidays. To all my Jewish friends, Happy Hanukkah. I hope to see you again very soon. Please like and subscribe. Leave me a comment below if you've tried this or what you think. And until we meet again, welcome to my kitchen. And we'll be seeing you. Bye for now.